Hello everyone, it's Shane Kanto, your Wasteland reviewer, and welcome to Wasteland Talks, my weekly talk show where I talk about whatever the hell I want, and continuing my special series of top 10 videos for the end of the year. It's time to get a little musical here. Generally, when I do, I have Jim and Alex here, but this time I'm just talking about Shane's music of 2023, so I utilize Spotify, and I get my Spotify Wrapped, and this was a fun one this year because I actively tried to listen to different kinds of music and more modern music this year than I have in the past. So, really tried to broaden my horizons. My top songs are very different than what they usually are, but which is also exciting and broadening my horizons, enjoying some different kinds of music, making some new artists that are now becoming some of my favorites, and so I can look forward to new music, because a lot of the artists that I do love don't come out with new music, and when they do, they're like 70 and it's not the best anymore, and they probably should have stopped. Looking at you, AC/DC. But I had a fun year, and I made a whole bunch of playlists and stuff, including one that was like, hey, I listen to other things too, so even I'm fully aware of what I'm trying to do here. But at number 10, this is one of the more modern artists that I got into years ago, and that's Lady Gaga, and this is Poker Face. Poker Face was a song that I first heard about back when I was in, probably middle school or high school, and this is just, like, Lady Gaga's music I love because it's such great dance music. It just has this big kind of vibe to it and really get excited and want to sing along to it, and yes, I do. If you ever drive with me, you'll definitely tell that I love listening to my music while I'm driving. And this particular song is obviously one of Lady Gaga's most famous, and one of the ones that like really put her on the map in terms of like that vibe that she went for the majority of her career. Obviously very different now, but Poker Face is definitely one of my favorites of hers. It's interesting because my favorite is definitely Bad Romance. Love that song so much. Didn't wind up on this list, which is why I'm spoiling that now, but Poker Face is not the last one from Lady Gaga that I'm going to get to. At number 9, Separate Ways from Daughtry, featuring Lzzy Hale. This cover came out this year and blew me away. I did listen to Daughtry for like the first 2 albums that they came out with post American Idol. I enjoy Daughtry. I think it's some rock solid kind of new age rock music, and I am one of the biggest Hailstorm fans you're gonna find. Love Lzzy Hale. When I found out that this was a thing, I'm like, I have to listen to it, and this song rocked. This brought this big heavy metal kind of edge to Separate Ways, which honestly, Separate Ways is the hardest of Journey songs. It actually is a hard rock song, but this takes it up to a level, and the intensity and like how heavy the guitar work is, still mixing really well with the synthesizers and just capturing this hard, heavy rocking soundscape. Love Daughtry's voice, but when Lzzy Hale just growls and roars into this song, it just hits it to a whole other level. It's just one of those kinds of songs that just knocks your socks off. And this is how you cover a song, and that's why like I listen to it over and over again because it's just that good. Next up on my list, now for something completely different. My number, My number 8 is On the Floor by Jennifer Lopez and Pitbull. So, ever since J-Lo played the Super Bowl with Shakira, which is the greatest Super Bowl halftime show ever, all of you people out there, particularly mothers, complaining that it was not appropriate for your kids. Having your kids watch a bunch of grown men beat the holy hell out of each other. They can see some very attractive 40, 50-year-old women. Get over it. But I would love to see them perform at the Super Bowl again. But Jennifer Lopez's music really like earwormed into my head. And On the Floor is just such a great time. It is such a great like dance song. It just makes you want to get up and move. And of course, Mr. Worldwide, Pitbull, just coming on in there and doing his thing too. Not the biggest Pitbull fan, but I do enjoy some of his music. Fireball certainly will get me moving. But I love their dynamic in this song. And Jennifer Lopez is very sexy and alluring with this song and just really makes you want to get up and move. And that's definitely why I probably listened to this one so many times. My number 7, which this was real high up on last year's list, so still keeping it up on here, is A Man Without Love by Engelbert Humperdinck. So obviously I first heard this song in Moon Knight from Disney Plus and Marvel. And I'm like, what is this? I'm like, this sounds like Tom Jones. And I'm one of the biggest Tom Jones fans you're ever going to find under the age of 60. So just so that you know that, if you didn't know that already. And I just love that era of music. I just like Frank Sinatra, Dean Martin, and Tom Jones and Engelbert Humperdinck, these kinds of singers that like Michael Bublé is trying to be and succeeds. Not to take anything away from him. It's just, this was a very specific era of these kinds of performers, these singers. And this song, I try to belt this out every single time that I'm driving and listening to this song. I cannot hit the notes that Engelbert Humperdinck does, but I try my best. And this is such a great song. It is like definitely a sad boy song of him, a man losing his love and being very sad about it. But it just has this big swirling kind of feel to it. And as it hits those big high notes, as it feels so uplifting, and then you realizing that you're singing about being really sad. And I've even dived into some of his other music, and I love it. I'm now a huge fan of Engelbert Humperdinck, right up there with Tom Jones, and this is certainly that kind of like crown jewel of it all. My number 5 song of 2023 was Born This Way by Lady Gaga. Told you she'd be back. I love Lady Gaga, like I mentioned before. I particularly love this song because of the message of it, the acceptance, being yourself, and as somebody that is like aggressively, like you should let everybody live their lives how they are and how they deserve to live. This song is like that anthem, and I find it very inspiring and very impactful, and I think it's very important, and Lady Gaga certainly represented, like, I don't think she really represents any element, I don't know, of this kind of like outcast, but you know, everybody has different reasons why they're outcasts. Wearing meat dresses and stuff might be one of them, but this particular song just is so great and blows me away, and definitely why I listen to it so many times. Next up, I'm probably going to get in trouble for being a Satanist, and Ted Cruz is probably going to want to take me down. It's because I like the song Unholy by Sam Smith and Kim Petras. This song, like this music video, like I saw clips of this music video on TikTok and I'm like, what the hell is this? And then I started listening to the whole song and it just has such a vibe. And my wife absolutely hates the Kim Petras section of this song. It's just like, why didn't Sam Smith just do this by yourself? As I'm expanding my horizons, I'm starting to realize that there's a lot of songs that just have random collaborators on them just thrown into the song, and they're like completely different than the rest of the song. Whether it's, you know, Doja Cat and The Weeknd, or The Weeknd and a bunch of other people, or basically everybody doing this. This particular one, I don't really have anything wrong with any parts of the song, but it's just this alluring and like really like digs under your skin kind of feel to it. And what Sam Smith's able to do with this song, I haven't listened to a whole lot of Sam Smith's music. I would imagine this is very different, just to say, but it really kind of like crawled up in there and really stuck around, and I do listen to it quite a bit. My number 4 is About Damn Time by Lizzo. Nice job, Lizzo, being a terrible human being. But also, because of TikTok, I just heard so many clips of like, you know, so many sections of this being incorporated in people's TikToks. I'm like, what the hell's a song? And then I listened to the whole song by Lizzo, and I'm just like, I really like this song. I'm a big disco fan, and this definitely has disco vibes. It has that dance kind of vibe to it. And there's so many time changes and different aspects of this song that sound very different. And it's like aggressively empowering song, and Lizzo just owns it. I wish she just didn't own, doing horrible things to our backup dancers. But this particular song really is such a great vibe. Really makes me want to get up and dance. The next two are from one particular artist that I never thought that I would ever be super into, but you know what? It happened, and it's Cardi B. I can't tell you how much I love how hilarious her lyrics are to her rap music. And the stuff that she comes up with is A+. And the way that she owns it is A+++. And the second song on my list, which I'll get to, is the song that really was my gateway. But then I started listening to other Cardi B music, and Up wound up being up there. I actually did hear this song, I think, for the first time when I saw her perform at one of the music award shows. And I'm like, because it was up into WAP, and I'm like, this is interesting. So I went out and checked this out. This song's like 2-something minutes, and it just absolutely hilarious and so confident and so catchy. I just loved it. My number 2, this was definitely the one that really got me into it, is WAP. And to be perfectly honest, the first, I have to give special thanks to Ben Shapiro for making me listen to the song WAP, because I'd never really listened to it. And then I heard him complaining about how disgustingly sexual it is, and how he doesn't know how to get his wife wet, and he just doesn't understand the song apparently. And I'm just like, I have to listen to this song, and I got hooked. This song is hilarious and so great. The lyrics to this are so impressively hilarious, and I love extremely sex positive films and songs and stuff like this, and this is certainly one. This certainly is a sex positive song. And not only is Cardi B great, and then I really fell for Megan Thee Stallion as a rapper as well, and been listening to her music. I definitely listened to Cobra quite a few times as well. Also listen to Bongos a lot. I love their collaborations. And just this song, and then when this song popped up in Dumb Money this year, I lost it. And then when they used WAP in the Streaming Wars episode of South Park, this song is like, this honestly might pop up on my list every year, because I just can't get enough of how great this song is. And my number 1 is a musical artist that I've really gotten into this year, because she really represents all the music that I loved outside of rock music from like the 70s and stuff like that. It is that disco feel, and that is Dua Lipa. Love Dua Lipa. She's definitely one of my favorite artists now, and I would honestly want to see Dua Lipa in a concert. But it's Dance the Night. I've listened to this song so many times before I saw Barbie, after I saw Barbie, and I'll continue to listen to this song, because this is dance vibe unmatched. And this song really makes me want to get up and move more than any other song. I love it. This fit perfectly for Barbie. I clap along every time. I just love this music and the music of it all. And then Dua Lipa, I love her voice. And she just has, and like, her music keeps popping up on my TikTok, her performances and everything. So I just keep listening to it, even if it's not on Spotify. But this is such a great song, and I really hope that it gets nominated for an Oscar for Best Original Song, along with like the 50 other songs from Barbie. I'm just Ken. And this is just such a fun song from start to finish. So my vibe. And that's a wrap on my top 10 list at Shane's Music of 2023. It's a very different list for me this year, and only 2 of these songs seem like songs that would wind up on my playlist, but you know what? I'm glad that I took that time to really expand my horizons and listen to new music and try different things, because we're always growing and can appreciate different things out there. And don't be so close-minded, and just appreciate people for who they are. And if you couldn't tell by this playlist, that's definitely a vibe for me. But those are my thoughts, and that's my top 10 list. But thank you as always for tuning in and supporting your Wasteland Reviewer.